Worship, tefillah, prayer in community is a form of sacred theater. So just like when you go to the theater, the curtain comes up and we're transported. It's a magical time. And then out comes the first character and says, "Look over yonder. I see the light shining as the dawn, as the troops move across. I must go and forth immediately and tell the king." Well, we learn in a Shakespearean play what the setting is, what's going on, what time and place we are in the magic of the theater, and we are carried there as well. So our sacred theater rises up, the curtain comes up, and we say, "Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov, mishkanotecha Yisrael." How wondrous! What a place! We are blessed at Congregation Bethel to have this beautiful, sacred space we walk into and are just uplifted by the light and the windows. And we have a moment then to be transported, though, but that space is not just our congregational space. It also is a microcosm of every place where Jews have ever gathered. It's designed to emulate the sanctuary that our people had when they wandered after leaving Egypt, at the core story of our people's history. And it also connects us to every other Jewish community sacred space that's organized in the same way as our space. It's a wondrous place to be. So we start with our sense of awe, awareness of magical theater. The other important thing, though, about the difference, though, between sacred theater and Berkeley Rep or ACT or other theater we might visit, is that in those theaters, there's very clearly the people on the stage and the people in the audience. And we pay our money and take our seats and expect to be entertained. And we often are. Yeah, there's some duds. Mostly we are. In sacred theater, there is no audience. Rather, we are all equally the creators of this sacred theater. In our sacred theater, then, everyone is participating. Everyone is sharing in it. And therefore, I'm not thinking about what kind of performance am I seeing. I'm rather into contributing to the performance. Now, sometimes I have lines, which is to say, I have parts to say or to sing. And sometimes my part is to express by my presence, by my attentive listening, spiritual presence, my participation, that something important is going on here, might transpire here. And then, when the curtain comes down, just all of a sudden I'm reawakened, and I've been changed by that experience. I am uplifted, or I'm feeling experience myself in a different place, or I'm connected in a new way. And I say, that was fulfilling, that was satisfying, that was a sacred moment or encounter that I had. The role of the theater sometimes, of our sacred theater, is to create a frame or a vessel in which we can experience the emotions, where we bring out or lift up or give vent to what's going on inside of us. But each one of us, on a regular basis, walks in the door with different places. I'm in a great place in my life this week. My project got finished, I got a raise, I had a good date, things are going well. Someone else, I'm in a very sad place. I'm dealing with health issues, I'm dealing with family issues, things are not going well in the rest of life, I'm worried about the state of the world. And there's a whole other range of things, or I may carry all those things inside me. And how does our coming together provide a place for all of those feelings, all of who I am, to be expressed and held and nurtured and comforted in some fashion? The difference, of course, between sacred theater and non-sacred theater is that when I'm transported to Venice or wherever, or ancient Rome, wherever I might go on a Shakespearean play, is that that's separate from my ordinary life. A part of my goal of my spiritual life is to integrate so that what I experience in synagogue informs and shapes my life elsewhere. The rabbi's role, the rabbi is sometimes the leader, sometimes the coach, and sometimes a member of the chorus. But in particular, I think the rabbi's role is to help frame. So you may notice, and an example might be in Our Town by Thornton Wilder. There's a great opening scene in which there's a narrator who comes out on stage. But the narrator on stage is also part of the play itself. So part of the rabbi's role is to help frame or shape what our sacred theater is going to be.